Many of the things we take for granted will one day pass away completely.
This is Brian with Screenphiles.com and Trailer and Reaction. What I'm looking at today is the official trailer for the sequel to 28 Years Later, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. And this is directed by Nia DaCosta, which, if you've seen the remake, the reimagining of Candyman with the 2021 movie directed by DaCosta, it is a really good movie. Now, it's not quite as violent or gory as I would like it to be, but it's interesting and it remains faithful to what Candyman's all about and advances that story in an interesting way. So I'm a huge fan of the reboot of Candyman. The Marvels I haven't seen yet, though from what I've read, that movie kind of got out of control as far as she was concerned. And whether that was brought about by Marvel's process for making films or just it became too unwieldy for her, that movie did not end up being looked well upon, either by the public or apparently DaCosta herself. Which isn't to say she hated it, but as I said, she thought, in my own words, it got out of hand, that there was no script and they were adapting to situations, which potentially is a recipe for disaster. I think she can approach the 28 Years Later franchise in a very interesting way. She, as a director, has a lot to offer, and let's not forget that Danny Boyle, Alex Garland, they chose her to follow up their movie. In any case, let's look at the official trailer for 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Oh, by the way, I should also mention, I hate that title. The prior movies in the series, 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, 28 Years Later, they follow a certain convention. And for me, that works really well. Adding The Bone Temple, for me, once again, doesn't work. It feels very gimmicky, and I'm not a fan of it, which has nothing at all to do with the movie itself, just the title. And without further ado, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Official trailer.
Trying to predict the future is a discouraging and hazardous occupation. In fact, it may not even exist at all.
Oh, what is this I cannot see? Oh, I am dead, none can excel.
Many of the things we take for granted will one day pass away completely.
I open the door of heaven and hell.
When that time comes, men will no longer communicate. We may have diseases and barbarism.
Oh, I am dead, none can excel.
The whole world will cease to make any sense.
I open the door of heaven and hell.
Look at the incredible changes we've experienced and survived. And yet even greater changes are still to come.
Are you ready?
My soul shall scream in hell.
Well, that was the official trailer for 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. And I have no idea what that was about. It was very interesting, narratively confusing, but once again, I've not seen 28 Years Later. So it's not at all a mystery why this trailer didn't quite resonate for me. Yet that's a problem. Think about it for a second. This trailer ideally should work for anybody, whether you saw 28 years later or not. It should work. What it felt like to me was the opposite of that, which is to say, if you didn't see 28 years later, you're not going to get this trailer. As in, understand it. And if you don't understand a trailer, the likelihood is low, or not great, I should say, that you're going to see the movie it is for. That's not a great thing, and it seems to me that maybe some very smart people made a mistake. So what do you think? This is Brian with Screenphiles.com and Trailer into Reaction. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like, follow, or buy me a coffee. Peace.